Hey, what's up, Risers? We're going to break down the Sunday night football game, KC versus Las Vegas. We got a nice game here. 56.5 point total, 31.5 implied team points by the Kansas City Chiefs, and they are currently 6.5 point favorites. So what I want to do, because we know, yes, we have this beautiful study hub here. This thing will help you if you want to look at some stats. If you're trying to check out the game flow, you want to see how often a team throws versus passes the ball, and if there's any weakness in the defense. Sure, you can absolutely use this if you'd like, but I think really for all things showdown slates, we're really kind of building on game theory, and then it's more so the construction of your lineup than the actual pieces of the lineup. And let me dive into that a little bit. For instance, if you are plugging in one of your quarterbacks at the MVP spot, you're inherently saying, I think this quarterback's going to throw for 1 billion yards and a bunch of touchdowns, in which case you should be filling out the majority of your roster with his pass catchers. After that, you probably want to have some type of run back stack, which means if I had someone like Mahomes, and then if I focused on Travis Kelce and then plugged in, well, we got Mecole Hardman, and or maybe Sammy Watkins is back this week, or if I think that he ends up being out, I put in Byron Pringle. All right, so I plug in Pringle, and boom, there we go. I've got a nice little stack. I'm saying I think that they are going to chuck the ball a ton there. I'll add Tyreek Hill. I'm hoping for 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, a few touchdowns spread out across these guys. And then the flex spot, I would want to run it back with someone on the Raiders. So maybe I'm focusing on someone like Hunter Renfrow at 8.5K. Nelson Aguilar, touchdown equity at 8K. There we go. Something like that. Okay, and you're just hoping for some type of comeback option scoring touchdowns. Ideally, you're trying to get in someone like Darren Waller, but it is what it is. There we go. But that's the theory behind it. And vice versa. If you have a pass catcher in the MVP spot, it's not so imperative for you to have a team stack anymore. Maybe you say to yourself, well, I think Tyreek Hill is the key to victory. You're going to want to probably plug in Patrick Mahomes because you're saying Hill's going to have 8 catches, $120, and 2 touchdowns. Well, in which case, Mahomes has at least 2 touchdowns. So now you've gobbled up 4 touchdowns from the Chiefs offense by just using this, right? If you think the pass catcher is going to have a couple touchdowns, well, he was thrown to by the quarterback. So bang, put them in there. Now, under this scenario, you are pretty much investing into the fact that, well, this player did great. Why did they do great? Well, they might have had to throw the football a ton because they were in a shootout or in a comeback scenario, in which case you're either going to plug in also someone like Derek Carr and a stackable piece with Carr, like Darren Waller, or you're plugging in someone like, maybe you got to go a little bit cheaper here, so you're going with Aguilar and then hoping for a Henry Ruggs deep touchdown. So there you go. You've got yourself a 5-player lineup on FanDuel. It's Tyreek Hill as the captain and Mahomes and your running back Carr. Now, the other option you can do, and again, this is only for FanDuel, we'll slide over to DraftKings and superdraft in a minute, is if you plug in a running back and you're like, you know what, I think Josh Jacobs is going to just pound the rock, 100 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns. Well, that probably means Derek Carr did not throw for 3 touchdowns, which you're kind of hoping for, 2-3 touchdowns. He likely did not if Josh Jacobs hammers in 2 red zone touchdowns. That also takes away some of the upside in the red zone for Darren Waller, who loses touchdown equity if Josh Jacobs scores the touchdowns. So now you're saying Jacobs scored a couple times. If he did have the opportunity to run for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, the Vegas Raiders were probably in the lead, which means Mahomes is probably chucking the ball at will to come back. So now you're game scripting this in some type of scenario where he is throwing the ball a ton to try to come back in this scenario. They're losing. You need some type of touchdown here to come back, and you're just going to fill out the rest of your lineup with something like that. I don't know how to exactly fill out this lineup. I haven't put too much time or thought into it, but you're looking for pass-catching scenarios where Mahomes is throwing the ball to come back. So maybe we'll go up a little bit higher and we'll plug in Tyreek Hill. Now, there we go. This one worked out a lot better at 8K. Now I can also plug in DeMarcus Robinson. So we're saying Josh Jacobs is going to pound in a couple touchdowns, control the game clock, and what happens? Well, Mahomes is going to try to throw the ball a ton. Or maybe you include a really cheap kicker or something to make sure. Actually, the kickers are kind of priced up in this game. That's the issue this week. Bucker at 9K. All right, so you get the scenarios here and you kind of understand it. Let's look at NFL over here. And, main slate's not even up. Oh, well, we've got some beautiful I did make a super draft video if you'd like to check it out. And that is, I think that was posted on Wednesday. And I've got 12 other videos here on YouTube this week. Go back through, check them all out. And if you are somebody who ends up liking each video and you comment on each video this week, you actually have an opportunity to win some cold hard cash. Whomever has the most likes on these 15 videos and the most comments on these 15 videos. Multiple comments is totally okay. I'm going to identify that person or persons, throw them in a little raffle, and give them some PayPal money, just straight up cash for your support. I appreciate it. And we have a little promo going on this week. If you are using promo 10 off, that makes our entire website over here, all of this stuff, all of these tools for NFL. Let me turn off the promo so you can see. All these tools over here. Beautiful. That's NFL. There's MLB, NBA coming up soon. We're going to add a bunch of tools there, NASCAR, PGA, NHL, MMA, esports, all these things. So anyways, you go down below in the subscribe link, and if you apply that 10 off promo, this makes it just $19.99 for your first month, and you get $20 to use on fantasycruncher.com every month. That's not like a one-time sign up. You get $20. You get it every month. So check it out. All right, let's slide over to DraftKings and make a primetime matchup for this beautiful primetime game. Truly, it looks awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun. I think it's going to be sneaky competitive. All right, let's open up DraftKings. All right, same thing applies over here, but the issue over here is the fact that Mahomes is just super expensive, so you're going to have to get a little creative. Again, if you're going with Mahomes as the MVP, the captain spot, I should say, you're inherently saying, I think he's going to chuck the ball at Will. He's going to score a bunch. People are going to score touchdowns. So how do you grab all of those points, and what do you turn around and run it back with? This is more difficult here. You actually have to dive deep down here this week, and I think you got to look for somebody who can, provide you some value. Someone like Byron Pringle, maybe he's going to pick up the 30 to 55% snap rate that Mecole Hardman has had over the last 6 weeks, and maybe that means that he gets some extra snaps this week. And at $200, he's that, diamond in the rough that frees up the salary that you need to make a good rest of the lineup. Maybe you're saying that Foster Moreau is going to get a red zone touchdown and steal a touchdown away from Darren Waller or Jason Witten. Some of these guys, these are the types of plays you're hoping. Devontae Booker, he's looked all right as of late, right? I mean, he's getting some carries. He had 2 rushing touchdowns in week 10. So is it Devontae Booker down here at 2.2K? That's actually not a terrible idea. I can even take Byron Pringle away and still have plenty of money left. You could play the Chiefs defense. I mean, down here at 4.8K. Booker is 4K if you think the Chiefs are going to score a ton of points. Booker stands to reap the benefits a little bit and get some field goals. So that's the way to kind of go about it. You have to do that probably at 2 spots if you want to plug these guys in. Here we are at 3K. Again, I can plug in maybe Pringle at $200 and then go up and get myself one of those kickers at 5.9K. Who else? Sammy Watkins. There we go. I can run a 5-1 stack. Hopefully he's just saying, I think Mahomes throws 400 yards, 4 touchdowns, and they are going to smash. Devontae Booker gets a bunch of pass catching opportunities as they take Josh Jacobs off the field in 3rd down rolls. Something like this would work out. And if you're going to do it differently where you're having a pass catcher as the captain, again, this becomes a little bit more easy now. It's a little bit easier to create a lineup. And a guy like Tyreek Hill with off 18 targets, likely going to be incredibly popular. Nothing wrong with plugging him in there. I don't mind going a little bit more unique with Travis Kelce, who I think is just a little bit more consistent. I mean, he shows that there are 4 games in a row of 4 out of his last 5 at 22.5 points or more. You can plug in Travis Kelce and probably dance your way to victory here if he has just your normal game. Again, you're going to have to dumpster dive to some extent and hope that you can find some value here. Devontae, I really like that Devontae play. Devontae Booker at 2.2K, interesting. You could go Chiefs at 4.8K and then probably could even plug in Henry Ruggs, hope for a long touchdown catch, right? 5.5K. Let's take him out. Let's actually see if we can do this a little bit differently. You go Booker, 6.5K, and Aguilar. Touchdown equity for days. There you go. A kicker and a defense. They continue to show up in these games, and Booker keeps kicking a lot of field goals. If this is what happens again this week, that could be an interesting spot right there for him. I just wanted to kind of get the juices flowing for Sunday Night Football. I'm very excited about it. We've got a beautiful main slate. I think it's going to be incredibly difficult this week for the main slate because there are so many terrible quarterbacks on the main slate. So I hope that you check us out. Again, it's just this will be your price for your first month. It'll kick into this later, but you'll always get this $20 discount. Do some math. If you use the 10 off promo, that makes this $19.99 for your first month. Then if you're an FC user, or if you want to be one, take $20 off that account. That basically makes us $0 for the month. $0 for the month. If you do this in future months, that makes us $9.99 a month if you're an FC user or choose to be one. Wild value, and a whole bunch of stuff down below in this page. That's down below in the description section. I hope you check out the other 14 or so videos that are published or being produced. Multiple fantasy football, one dynasty video with Ryan McDowell. We'll be having Matt Harmon in future weeks. Sigmund Bloom's going to join us, and a whole bunch of DFS stuff. teamriseorfall.com. Give us a look. We got over 1,000 members in Discord for a reason. I hope you check us out. And please, by all means, if we're going to have 15 videos a week, it might make sense to be one of those people subscribing. Hit that notification button. Hit that like button. That's huge for me. It helps me out a ton for supporting more free videos. All right? Take care, my friends. Together, we rise.